Let's hear a little from Josh Allen on playing in the wind and Bill Belichick on Josh Allen, since these two teams are going to get together again. Let's see if Belichick was effusive in his praise of the guy he's going to face in 3 weeks or said, man, he's not very good. Let's have a listen.
I don't know if it affected us too bad. Maybe a throw here or there. But, again, that's why I'm here, to play in those types of conditions, and got to find a way.
I feel like Josh did a good job throwing the ball out there today, and no, it's not easy. I thought he did a pretty good job. So, not that he had a career day or anything, but it was tough conditions. But he slung it in there pretty good, made some really good throws.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder why the hell they didn't do it before the fourth quarter. Josh Allen, even though he's only 4 years in, he knows he's not going to say anything publicly. And maybe I'm detecting it because I'm looking for it. But I think you sit him down and you attach him to a lie detector test, you give him a couple shots of whiskey, and he's eventually going to say, I don't know why the hell they didn't let me do my thing earlier in the game.
Yeah,
I played at Wyoming, for crying out loud.
That's right.
I know what it's like to be in the elements. Let me be in the elements. Let me play in the elements.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that is why they got him. Again, he has that gift like Brady did in New England. It just doesn't matter. He throws a pure ball. He's got a strong arm. He can throw it through the wind. You're right. They didn't trust it, and they should have earlier in the football game. There's no doubt. Because you could see hey, listen. Again, I think where the elements played they didn't affect Josh Allen. They might have affected the receiver. I'm sure the ball was moving as it was coming in. And, of course, when he's having to throw at 174 miles per hour, it probably wasn't easy. I would think that's what happened to Stephon Diggs on the long pass that he dropped in the end zone. Allen threw it in the perfect place, but who knows? The ball might have dropped and rose and dropped and rose 3 or 4 times on the way. I'm sure it was hard to track the football. It was, but it was amazing. I think you could tell with the way Belichick acted there. Belichick sought him out after the game, and you could tell it was one of those, like, let me make sure I go see this guy, because that was pretty amazing there. But, yeah, the Patriots are better built for the elements altogether. And the Patriots, again, Allen, some of his best plays were drops and incompletions. They got pressure on him. But they couldn't contain him. He still gets outside the pocket. Here's a 3-man rush. Okay, that's incomplete. But the Patriots, again, it goes to their size. Barrymore, Godshaw, they just push the pocket. Nobody's open there. They collapse it. That's where the Patriots, again, maybe not as sexy always with the pass rush, but when you talk about Judon, Barrymore, the way they're coached, they make quarterbacks uncomfortable. And Allen was uncomfortable with what he saw down the field and of course, with the people in his face all night.
Do we have the play where Dawson Knox has this shot at the touchdown catch and the pass is broken up late? Because there's something I noticed watching the game that confuses me. If we have that
was an amazing
play.
Throw.
That's the one where Josh Allen does what he can to keep the play alive as long as he can. Now, here's the Diggs play. That was an opportunity. It kind of sails. You're playing in the wind. That happens. And here's the next play.
That's insane getaway.
Okay, now watch this. Now, here's the thing. And I think we may need a different angle. See Stephon Diggs kind of walking. Stephon Diggs was open.
Over the middle.
But he didn't, when the quarterback improvised, he didn't improvise with him.
I got you.
He just kind of stopped.
Right.
And that was kind of confusing to me. Because, if he would have started moving around, maybe he would have sprung free. He was just kind of walking in the middle of the field. And I was just curious about that.
Yeah, I saw it. I think that was
because he was open.
Right.
He was open, but when the quarterback starts moving around, you got to go somewhere. You don't just stop.
No doubt.
That was just and we how we feel about Stephon Diggs. We love Stephon Diggs, but maybe he could have found a spot where Josh Allen could have sent a laser his way and they would have won the game.
Yeah, right. I think there's two things. I mean, he was open. I think he was the original read too. I mean, go back, guys. Can we play that package of plays again? I know we're having a little issue with rewinding plays and doing that today, so we got to kind of watch it in real time. But I think he got pressure in his face, originally. And again, this is the 2nd and 9 that sails out of bounds to the right side there. I mean, again, this is him throwing into the wind, not affected at all. Here it is right there. He's running like a little jerk route. I think the ball would have gone to him on rhythm, but Allen got, pressure right away. And Dawson Knox come back to the ball. Like, what are you doing? Just standing there. Go get it. Go get in front of the guy.
But
you know?
I see a green area there. If Stephon
Yeah,
Diggs
you're right.
had
If
run
he
over
would've
there, we'd have given him an
reacted.
underneath option.
Yes, no doubt. And then this play here, hey, Allen will regret he didn't go down the middle to Cole Beasley like Brian Greasy showed. That's the place you want to go. I know he's playing Stephon Diggs and he wants to go to his best guy. But for that blitz,
that throw wasn't getting to Gabriel. I thought it was Gabriel Davis
going to be
coming in from the
underneath.
side.
You're right. It was Gabriel Davis. You're right. It was going to be behind and too low. You're right. It wasn't going to get there.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Agreed.
So,
but again, I think your point, Mike, the fact that they unleashed him too late and it was just too little too late, he finally started getting a rhythm. I think that was a real thing last night. I do think that's where Buffalo maybe dropped the ball a little bit. They should have just let him go and let him throw lasers around the field because we see it didn't affect it all that much with him.
And that's the irony of this one. We've seen Ryan Daboll as he focuses on his new job in an effort to parlay it, or his current job in an effort to parlay it into his next job. He's been maybe a little too much. And I don't know if he was under orders. Yeah, I'd love to know strategically what went into the first half of the game, how much they ripped up the game plan on the fly, how much Sean McDermott was involved saying, hey, I see all these pass plays you have dialed up. We can't, we can't do that tonight. Have you been outside? We can't do it tonight. Well, our guy can. There's got to be a story behind the story on how they switched. Maybe they switched. Well, they had to have. Everybody adapted last night. If you didn't adapt to the conditions last night, you were nuts. The problem is the Bills overdid it. The Bills had the guy that you didn't have to adapt for. Mac Jones, you got to adapt. If you got Josh Allen, you don't have to adapt, and they figured it out too late. That was my big takeaway from the game.
I'm with you. I think you're right. Exactly right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.